Episode 3 starts with Janner making Sarah a necklace, and it's super cute. Uh, Tink once again brings the map out to talk to Janner about it, convincing him that he's only borrowing it, and he's definitely bringing some little brother troublemaker vibes into the situation, and it's the best. Lily is definitely a shipper of Janner and Sarah, which, me too, girly, me too. Comment below and let me know if you guys are a shipper of them and what you would choose their ship name to be. And Lily is definitely her brother's wing lady every chance she gets when it comes to situations with Sarah. The kids go back in town and return some books and see Pete and Gizmin. Uh, he makes me sad. There's definitely some tragic story tied to him, and I'm all for digging more into that. But Janner tries to ask Sarah out and fails, but only a little bit, because thanks to her clearly seeming to like him back too, she takes the lead and asks him out about a different idea of what to do since she had to work, and that was kind of the reason she couldn't go along with his plan. And I love when a female character can take the lead. I understand why many don't, and that's okay. It just makes it all the better when you have ones that don't mind taking the lead when their counterpart is shy at times. Tink is the one to send or blah, Tink is the one to return the books along with the map, but while going to return it, he stumbles upon more stuff in the cubbyhole, and instead of putting it back, or he puts it back, and instead of keeping it there, he ends up deciding to take the map and the other stuff, or the flyer that was in the cubbyhole, with him home. And he's convinced that the Ford sword, which seems to be some kind of hero that once was and now has vanished for some reason, is creating a group to fight the Fangs, the Fang fighters. But we are brought to night as Jenner asks his mom about heading off in the morning to meet Sarah, which was her idea. They wanted, or she suggested they go see a flower bloom that doesn't bloom very often. I can't remember how often, but I don't even think it's like once a year. I think it's like every decade. I don't know. It's a long time. So this is definitely like a once in a blue moon type situation. But he doesn't say that it's her at first, and Mama assumes that he's talking about some of the guy friends he has. She's about to say no until she catches him saying she, and she's like, hey, wait, are you talking about a girl? And she's like, or asks him about him liking Sarah, and he brushes it off, saying how she's just a friend and he likes to talk to her because they share interest and other sweet stuff about her. That shows he's clearly in denial and definitely crushing on her, and it's super adorable. But it's kind of like that young love where he doesn't know what love is, so it's understandable why he'd be in denial. And I love when stories have innocent love, it just makes you all warm and fuzzy inside. But the Fangs are showed again with the black carriage and are given a list of kids to take. Only the problem is that Slarb, the thing that has like a major grudge against the Igby's, decides to add Sarah to the list, noticing that Janner had affections for her, and since he can't mess with the Igby kids directly, he decides to find a different way to mess with them. And man, can Fangs really hold a grudge? The morning comes, and Janner waits for Sarah on the bridge to see the flower bloom. He ends up wondering where she's at, and then Slarb ends up coming up and showing him the necklace that he gave Sarah the day before to taunt him and tell him how she was taken the night prior, and Jenner crushed until Grandpa and Mama blaming himself, crying. And man, this was just pure heartbreak when I watched it originally. Like, to see someone feel blame or blaming themselves, especially like a younger character, about being at fault for why something happened to someone they care about. Like, oh, I'm sucker for those kind of stories. But Grandpa and Mama go off to try to convince the mayor to get Sarah back, and while they're gone, Janner decides to finally take Tink up on his offer to see the floor sword in the hopes he can rescue Sarah. They have to venture through the forest and find Ankle Jelly or Ankle Jelly Manor. I'm hoping I'm saying that right, where the floored sword is supposed to be, but no one's found. And while Grandpa and Mama are talking to the mayor, the mention of the jewels of an era are brought up as to what the lead Fang, uh, Nag the Nameless, is after. And Slarb overhears and heads off to search for them at the Igby's, hoping that he will get them a promotion, because for some reason he has it in their head that it'd be at their house. And he ends up destroying the whole place looking, and finds some jewels hidden away, and is convinced that those are the same jewels that everyone's talking about. The kids search the manor, finding nothing until Lily stumbles upon a dangerous way down to what I assume is the basement or something, and hearing some horned howls, or horn hounds, try saying that 5 times fast, uh, hearing some horn hounds coming their way. They are forced to go the dangerous way, finding a locked door at the end of the hallway, and at a chance of bringing the light up to the map to see it a little bit better, a code is revealed and flashes onto the door, which gives them the code to unlock it. But still, no floor sword. But they do find where the weapons are being stored and some other cool, nifty items. Looking through them, Janner finds a sword with the name Esben Wingfeather on it, and a noise is heard that makes them wander out to see what's going on outside, because previously when they did run off, the hounds ran off too, so they're trying to figure out what the deal is. But it turns out that the horned hounds ended up finding their own way down there and end up chasing them back into the room, and they are locked in there with nowhere to go. So they are literally locked in a room with the only exit being trapped by horned hounds, and that is terrifying. And this cliffhanger here, if you watched it in real time, was killer because we had to wait forever for the 4th episode to come out. And yeah,